Hi, welcome to this review of the Big Z Lunas. These discs obviously featuring this nice new stamp that they've come up with. Not the infamous McBeth sock drawing, but a really nice stamp on it. So these are obviously then in the Big Z plastic, which is not quite as firm as Z plastic, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that they're gummy either. They're pretty nice and firm, but overall fairly close to Z plastic if you're used to that feel. Here's just an up-close look at the really nice stamp, especially if you were able to get any of these, and some of the foils are really nice looking on them. This one and my other two here are just that kind of matte stamp, but really nice logo on it. And now I look at the profile of it. It's got the standard Luna kind of roundness to the edge, and it's still flat too, which is nice. I know some throwing putters, once you get that different plastic, they can be kind of domey on top, but these keep that nice flatness to the top. Also for this review, just for flight comparisons, I'm going to be looking at some throws with the Lucid and Fusion judges as well. So first two throws right now are just kind of get a bit of distance on them. Anhyzer flip up. There's the first Luna and second Luna shot. This one flips up a little bit better and has some more turn to it, even off that Anhyzer release. And then we got first judge throw, flips up just the same, nice and straight. And the second judge throw as well, Anhyzer flip up, nice and straight, a little bit of push to the left. Here's just the grouping at the end. So that's the Luna and then the two judges, and then the green one, which had a bit more turn. Same kind of thing. There's some sticks just out in the distance. I believe it was about 280 to 300 feet. First shot here is actually the judge. And then we're going to go into second judge. Bit of a better Anhyzer flip on that one. And then the next ones will be Luna shots. So there's the green one up on a Anhyzer, holding pretty nice and then getting a good fade at the end. And the red Luna, same thing, nice Anhyzer flips straight out and a little finish at the end. And then here's another look at the groupings, all pretty much clustering together, so same kind of throw and similar result. So now I'm aiming towards this tree. It's about 260 feet, just that one that's in the shade there. That's a judge on the first throw again. Also be comparing it to my zones for a look at a disc with similar flight numbers. So there was just the first Luna throw there. Again, really to get, I find the most desirable flight, just give them a nice bit of Anhyzer on them, and they really just flip up and usually just ride straight. This one getting a little bit more Anhyzer actually has a good nice fade to it, so not quite to the target, but still really nice. So this is a Z zone coming up. That obviously has the same 0 turn 3 fade, and it's just dumping so much sooner. And these are thrown on a more flat release too, so I'm not really putting Anhyzer on them like the zones. Or sorry, like the Lunas. And then again we see here, so the crystal zone and the judge right to the tree, and then the other Luna just close by. Now this is about 200 feet, just trying to throw a slight little Anhyzer shot towards that post there. So the first one smacks right off it. Green one just kind of doing a nice little S-flight, settling up on the hill. But not to be outdone, here's the Fusion judge also smacking off the pole. This is something I think to show kind of other shots you can be throwing with them. So that's a judge on a big Anhyzer, but then we'll look at, again, you can kind of put them on these nice high sweeping Anhyzers as well instead of just the softer ones and get that big turnover shot. I think the main thing of note really is that they're not that 0-3 flight number like the zone would be. I could throw a zone just flat and hard and it's going to go straight and it's going to finish right. But if I throw these hard, they're really just, if it's hard and flat, they're going to turn over. If it's on Anhyzer, they're going to flip up nicely and ride straight. But they're very comparable to something like the judge. Just throw them with a nice Anhyzer release. As we see some of these shots out on the course, all just like little touch shots with some Anhyzer. They flip up nicely and just glide forward. But again, it's not dissimilar to the Judge. So depending on what your game style is or what your comfort is for throwing up shots, if you like a bit of a hyzer release and just kind of a nice smooth straight finish with a little bit of fade, then these are really good. The bottom line is that for kind of how rare they are right now and the markup on them, they're just too similar to other things on the market that I wouldn't be going out of my way to try and rush and snag one of these. As a collector's kind of piece, they're really nice too. I don't know if they're going to make more or what the deal is, but yeah, I mean, they're an awesome disc for just that putter approach and, you know, kind of straight shots off the tee. But I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more stable than my Judges, but ultimately they're very, very similar, especially the one in the middle there that I've been using more. That dark pink one's getting a little bit more kind of turn, I would say, on it. I had a lot more throws. My phone died while I was filming some of those shots out in the field, so I'd say they're really good, but if they were just regular available discs, it would be a no-brainer. But given the kind of the rarity and the markup that they kind of have, it's not any better than other things you could be getting. So something like the Judge, AVRs and like throwing plastic, you're not going to get much different. So yeah, nice collector's pieces, really nice stamp, and a nice disc overall. But if you're paying aftermarket prices, it's not going to be worth that extra. And if you're looking for something with that real 0-3 stable finish, then something like a Zone is a great choice, or Westside Harp, things like that will give you that more reliable finish if that's sort of what you're looking for. These are really more of a hyzer flip point and shoot kind of disc. So yeah, I think overall I've probably said the word nice enough, but that's kind of how I'd summarize these discs. Just as long as you're getting them for their standard price, I think they'd be worth it. If you're trying to, you know, have a disc you can have several of, you know, I was lucky to snag a few of these, but it was not easy. Going forward, like trying to replace them if I'm losing them or if they're beating in and wanting fresh ones, like I don't think they're going to be feasible for like a long-term disc. It seems a little bit right now, unless they make more, it's a little bit more of a novelty, and there's other things you probably could be getting that are more readily available. So on a scale of Anhyzer to hyzer, I'd give them solid par.